Hi everyone, my name is Emem and this is my story. I have lived in Ottawa for about 6 years, and before that I have lived in Chicago, Illinois for 2 years. I'm originally from Nigeria. My parents are still back there, my brothers are back there in Nigeria. I grew up in a Christian home. My mom and my dad used to go to church. My mom always would take us to church. She never left us at home. So I grew up knowing God from the beginning. I started attending Bethel in 2021. Then I was actually looking for a church where I could serve God. I didn't want to go into a church where I'll be sitting down as just a member. My first day in Bethel, I came with my boys. They loved it. I had visioned myself singing on the platform. So on our way home, my boys said, "Mom, we love this church. Can we come back?" So that was like a confirmation that this is where I belong. And here am I in Bethel. I am involved with the collective team, and I'm also involved with the dance team. I grew up like knowing God, knowing the things I should do as a child, and my mom always would teach us the ways of God. My mom had always encouraged me to clean the church. So I started cleaning the church when I was about 16, and it's been amazing, getting to clean the church, making sure that God's house is clean. And one thing I always do when I'm cleaning the church is I always like to clean the altar, because that is where I always have my communication with God. So I always tell him things I wasn't sure of, because as a child, I wasn't even sure how my future was going to be. So I always would go to the altar, clean, tell God, "God, I don't know how you're going to do this. This is my life. I have no one, but I have you." I gave my life to Christ at 18, and I got baptized after that. I wasn't sure what the future had for me at 18. I just finished my secondary school, and I was waiting to get into the university or a polytechnic then. My dad was one person who never believed that a girl child had the opportunity to make it in life. So when I had the opportunity to go to school, I didn't do it because my dad believed that a girl's education ends in the kitchen. So I had to fight through life at a very young age. I've had many trials and temptations growing up. I had to support my mom to do petty trading so she could afford my fees. It was tough going to school. I didn't go to the school of my choice, but God made a way. I went to the polytechnic. I finished school, and I got a job. Started working after that. I later got married, and I had my 2 kids back in Nigeria. I sacrificed a lot in my marriage. I was abused. I was humiliated. I lost my self-esteem. I lost my self-worth. I was depressed. I almost took my life in that journey. But in all, because I remember that I always had this discussion with God, and I knew my life was in his hands, I never lost my focus with God in all of that. My kids are also there, dearly to myself, and in the midst of that trial and temptation, in the midst of all the downside of life, I still held God tight. Jesus really changed my life, even when I lost everything, even when I had to start all over again, even when I actually didn't even know how I was going to go about it. One thing he did for me was he paved the way for me. He created opportunities for me. He stepped into every situation. He turned my life around. He gave me beautiful ashes. He turned my morning into dancing. God has been amazing. I will like my church family to know that God is good. God will never leave you. I know there's so many out there that are going through maybe worse situation than mine, or maybe the same or less. The only assurance I have for you today is hold on to God. He will hold on to you. No matter the phase of life that you're in, always remember Jeremiah 29:11. It says, I know the plans I have for you. They are plans of good and not of evil. God has plans for each and every one of us. He will always see us through every situation. Every day I see His grace. Every day I see His mercies. And I'm grateful to God for all He has done for me and my boys. He didn't let us see shame. He didn't let us hunger. He had always provided everything we need. My boys, I see them grow and I'm grateful to God. God is good. My name is Emem, and this is my story.